hard-fought battle tonight. Ken just talked about,
Yeah, what did he say? Yeah.
He said a difficult game, pressure was high. And they were very relieved to come away with the points. What was your assessment, mate?
Yeah, we spoke about it was a really high-pressure game. They applied a lot of heat. Thought the scoreboard was an indicator of the first quarter of what really was going on out there. But we made them pay. Then the second quarter was reversed. We dominated entries, and maybe, I thought we had some shallow entries, so I asked them to put it in, but then I've got to be careful what I say because they're so coachable, right? So we didn't get bang for our buck when we dominated 6, and they scored quite easily. So, look, overall, you can complicate it, but our efficiency all year, even though we've been scoring quite well, we might have a quarter where we're really efficient. Has been a bit of an issue, right? So even though we've been like top 8 attack or whatever, we've had lots of opportunities, but we're down at the bottom end of efficiency, like inside 50. So ultimately, that probably hurt us overall. So I thought our last quarter was really good. We fought on. But to their credit, they brought a lot of heat. They were really determined. We knew they'd hold forwards. A lot of teams have done that and we've been fine. So, we're disappointed because we thought in the end we could have won. But there's some execution. Yes, everyone wants to complicate it, but if I really simply look at it, outside of their forward 50 possession games where we turned it over and they kicked 4 goals, they basically almost didn't score off possession games. So we defended the ground really well, and they just got a bit of, some bit of clean air, scored out of the middle and some other stoppages, but not dramatic. To me, the difference in the game was we turned it over 4 times in our D50. So Battle had a discussion with the umpires during the week about that stepping off the line. It didn't even look like he stepped off it. I rang Dan Richardson during the week, and because there was one on Benny Patton. It's really interesting, like that half a step play on. So not that I'm blueing, I think we just need some clarity because it feels like it's been really tightened up with, and the rule is a bit old. So you're supposed to go line of goals from wherever you are on the ground. So I'd like that clarified because that hurt us. So if I took them out and I thought a little bit of efficiency, I'm not unhappy. 5-day break. We worked really hard. We gave ourselves an opportunity to win. So, and that's what I said to the players. So we'll have a good 3-day break, and then come in Tuesday and really get going for it. I had to ask who our next opponent was, but it's the Kangaroos. So, we've got to get back and going. So all credit to them. They brought a lot of heat. I thought we didn't buckle, but we could have been cleaner. We could have been more efficient. And they've got some exciting young players, but I thought we never gave up, So, look, we get to freshen up and go again.
And just to clarify, you're talking about that Charlie Dixon tackle on Battle?
Yeah, I didn't even see it, but then someone said, he just got called play on. And then there was a couple last week in the Carlton game. There was probably 7 or 8 on both teams. And I did ring, and I was like, but there was one I said, he hasn't moved, and then maybe that one looked like that. So we just need some clarity. I think every club and player in the AFL. It's not even a diversion because I've never spoken about it, but it's just trying to get our head around it a little bit.
You mentioned execution, obviously. Late in the last quarter, there was quite a few times where you guys did get the rub of the green, pumped it forward, but it just seemed to always go into a Port Adelaide.
That's a bit of, did we have the people there? Look, I'm not going to beat it up. Halves will go and look at it, so... did we flow as much? Not really, but we still scored 3 out of our D50. And look, you can look at all the numbers you like, take away those errors in the D50, but we haven't been making them. So when your inefficiency is there, you can't leave that much on the table in that area of the game. When you've got control of the ball fully twice, you just can't give that up. I'm not saying it's the exact reason, but if you really break it down, well, sometimes it is.
I guess on a positive note, it's another game you only had 2 losses. They only beat by about a goal, so it's another indication of how how competitive you guys have been over the start.
No, we're very competitive. We're really pleased with our position. We're never going to go through undefeated. Would we like to win? Yeah, So could we have won? Yeah, but we didn't. So we just got to learn our lessons. The great thing has been identify where we need to improve, train it, and they implement it. But I am learning. I just can't say too much because it's so coachable. I thought we never gave up.
Just if efficiency forward stuff help when you get someone back like Max? Like you had to manufacture a bit of a forward half, haven't you?
Yeah, no, we have manufactured, but Owens is, gee whiz, he's what an exciting young player, and I think Timmy will come to hand. You know, Cords has just been super for us, really, Zane, as in doing his role, and he's sacrificing himself for the team, right? But ultimately, yeah, at some point Max will come back in, and everyone tells me he's a pretty special player, so I haven't really seen much of him, so... But that would be disrespecting Port Adelaide. You know, they got a few out. I thought they had a few out. So they were aggressive. They were hard. I didn't think their ball movement worried us too much. Their stoppage work was pretty good. So yeah, we will move on.
How big an impact do you think Jason Horne-Francis had on the game tonight?
Yeah, look, I know where you're going with that. I was being told he was booed. Is that where you're really going to head?
Oh no. Well, I thought
Which okay if we do.
No, well I thought he.
No, he was big. He had 10 ground ball. He was pretty powerful in the end. Crouch has been super, and we just said, look, can you tighten up on him? You know, so then immediately people said, we're booing him. Look, I don't want to get into the storm it is, right? So there's a couple of things, right? So people were doing a mob that they wouldn't do as individuals, so maybe just check yourself and don't do that. There's a lot of mental stress on players. If you're doing it to put him off his game, which I make an assumption you are, well, clearly doesn't work, which is good for the kid. So maybe don't boo him. And then, you know, I watched Dave Chappelle last night and spoke about people punching down on people. Let's not punch down on a 19-year-old.
Just a comment on Rowan Marshall. He seems to just be going from strength to strength. When you get all your troops back, you see him as like a really good foundation block to sort of build everything on, because he seemed to be outstanding again tonight as well in the ruck.
Yeah, he was solid, you know. So, but ultimately, it's more than the ruck work. I think we got probably beaten a little bit. I thought they had some more dominant, powerful clearances. So look, he plays an important part, you know. So, look, I don't want to bang on too much. Yeah, he's been important. He was good. He was courageous. Copped a big knee. But we're going to have to butter up, lick our wounds, and you know, get ready for North. So, but they'll get a 3-day break. It was a 5-day break, but we should be able to handle that.
Wilkie seemed to sort of hobble around a bit. How's
he just rolled his ankle, Wanganeen had a cork, patting a little bit of shoulder. But other than that, we're pretty healthy, which is good. So.
Seb's job on Rosie early in particular, boss, very disciplined.
Seb Ross, yeah, spot on, important role. Look, he wasn't tagging him, but he tends to play centre forward, so he just put some concentration into him rather than just ball watching. He's out the back, and he's a pretty special young player. So I thought Seb, and he really in the last quarter he was super Seb. So yeah, it was a good pick-up because it wasn't a tag, but you know, rather than just shake hands and say goodbye, he probably put a bit of time into him, which is nice. So look, I'm disappointed for our fans and members. You know, 30,000 turned up. So, but I think we're still in pretty good shape, and there's still some reasonable form in the VFL. So we'll just keep building and chipping away.
The captain seemed to be better for the run from last week. Seemed to be much improved.
Yeah, bits and I'll have to go away and review it. I'm still getting back in the harness really. I'll speak to Lenny. So yeah, look, he's pretty. There was no risks with him. He's played it, but yeah, he'll be better for the run again. I thought he really lifted in that last quarter. You know, so thanks, guys.
Thank you, mate.